Hello everyone, Risky Toothpick here, back again with some more Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express, and last time we investigated the crime scene. And now we need to talk to two individuals. We can recap the events though, apparently. Select two elements that help uncover what happened the night of the murder. But we still need to interview a few more suspects and then we'll be good. So that's kind of what we expected. He drank sleeping pills, so anybody could have walked into his room and he wouldn't know what happened. He was threatened, so he had a rifle or a pistol. And I don't think it's going to be a watch. I think it's going to be his sleeping pills and he was on guard. Yeah, he wanted to stay on guard, yet he took sleeping pills, so maybe they were, mixed into his drink without him knowing.
I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life.
That was easy.
Alrighty. Now we need to interview the people who worked for Ratchet. They might be able to tell me something about the victim. We know for a fact it's him and this Mr. Masterman. We saw them together that night.
Et voilà.
So now we need to integrate his valet and the secretary. There's some other things we need to do as well.
I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
I'm surprised that it wouldn't allow us to do it at the end of the last episode, because I was trying to press Y and it was sending me somewhere else, so there's like two things going on.
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced.
Alrighty, so we're gonna start from the top and work our way down.
Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
Alrighty.
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
A heat of the passion.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
Alrighty. The list of passengers. So we need to talk to him, which we already need to talk to him because I think we have, here we go. How the killer exit the room. So we can easily switch between the two. This is good to know. So we'll start with the guy over here because he is involved in 2 of the investigations.
Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
Ooh, I don't know his nationality. Controller at valet.
I must admit I'm not
wrong
right
button.
this time.
57. Let's go with French. Let's see.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Alrighty, so let's start from the top. Let's get that list. And then we'll see what he was doing.
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
Perfect. So we have all their names, first, last, the rooms, a number of places. It's weird that one of them has 2. Maybe for the bird. If she's, involved with the bird.
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No. Tobacco only.
Ooh, that's a bad habit to have.
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman. Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
He's American. We don't know if he speaks French.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hubbard. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
Alrighty, so we're done with him. I have to try to reconstruct Mr. Michael's activity based on what I know. Like Michel's. So, we know that he left the bar, he made the bed. The train left at like 12:10. I know he speak to us pretty late. That kind of seems right. You would think he'd smoke and then go outside.
That's the right answer.
It's good to get him right. So now we know his activity. He remained at his post from 12:10 to the morning, except from 1:05 to 1:20, and from 1:50 to 2 a.m. So now we've completed a few of the missions here. There's still a couple more individuals we need to interrogate, which seems to be like everyone. So now we're going to start from all the way back here. Let's see here. I think this is our room, correct? Yeah, that's our room. Nothing's really changed. We're going to start from one end to the other. That's the murder scene.
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God! I knew it! I knew it!
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, may I inspect your room?
Of course, yes, you must.
She's an American. Housewife, maybe. She does have a daughter, we assume is older.
That was easy.
Alrighty, so let's search her room. Oh, get the mustache.
Another delightful trophy for my collection.
Oh, a button.
Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Very strange.
The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail.
It is nice looking. What is that thing down there, though? What's the point of opening this if you're not gonna... Okay, I guess we have no interest in whatever it is down there.
This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side.
Alright, let's talk to her. I guess we're gonna figure out what she's been doing.
Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. "Come in," I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
Well, let's, I guess, learn more about the door.
How is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet. It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive.
And learn more about the handkerchief.
Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
Are you a smoker?
No, definitely not. Filthy habit.
Well, if she's telling the truth, that is correct. Smoking is a little rough on the lungs.
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to...
Wouldn't be a passenger, would be a train employee because it's the Oriental Express.
a train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure.
Alrighty, so we're done with her.
I have not finished inspecting your room. If you don't mind,
Looks like we might be missing one thing in here.
let's see if Mrs. Hubbard was telling the truth about the latch of the connecting door. This hook is probably where Mrs. Hubbard hung her toiletry bag.
Okay, so we need to come over here. That's right, pick it up. We can see if she actually could see or not.
I can see the latch very well from here, even with the toiletry bag attached. I'll have to clear that up with Mrs. Hubbard.
Seems like she might have been lying. But why would she lie?
Mrs. Hubbard, you told me that the door connecting the two compartments was closed, correct?
Yes, it was, as I told you. I was already in bed and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was. That's why I asked Miss Olson to check if it was closed.
Let's confront her. Of course, it's this one. This one's very easy.
Are you sure everything you've told me is accurate, Madame Hubbard?
Of course, I have an excellent memory.
Mrs. Hubbard, I tested putting your toiletry bag on the door hook as you told me. From your bed, you can easily see the latch on the door. The toiletry bag does not hide the latch at all.
Are you saying I'm lying? It may have been stuck somehow in a different position, or I may not have seen it in the darkness. Or I didn't think to look, you irritating man.
Details matter, madame. A man has been most savagely murdered. You will excuse me if I attempt to separate the truth from the false.
Forget my toiletry bag and focus on who entered my compartment. Probably after killing Mr. Ratchet.
Madame Hubbard is a force to be reckoned with, but I suspect I'm not done with her.
Yeah, it's very strange that once we catch her lie, she gets very upset and angry.
Thank you for your assistance, madame.
And like Poirot has said, there's probably going to be more there. So we need to interrogate Ratchet's secretary and valet. What else do we need done? I guess we're not done with him, but we can check his button. So select two elements to help deduce how the killer avoided being seen by Mr. Michael.
This is wrong.
No?
But I'm never far from the truth. No, not good.
Interesting. The murderer was able to take advantage of Mr. Michael's absence to escape without being seen at 1:15 a.m.
While Monsieur Michel was
Michel.
chatting with Monsieur Fauchet in the bar car between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., the murderer could have escaped Ratchet's room without being seen.
Mr. Michel. It's just a little difficult because Michelle is kind of like a feminine name, so I'm getting it kind of mixed up, but is Mrs. Hubbard a suspect? Probably yes.
This direction looks promising.
because she lied. With him, I'm probably going to say no for now.
This appears to be a good lead.
And I think we're done with this one. We just got to interrogate Mr. Michel a little bit more. See if he has that button.
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
Alrighty. So now I think we're done with that one so far. So now we just gotta investigate 2 more individuals. 102 and 103. Let's also check the rooms in here just for that sneaky mustache. I really don't want to have to go. I don't want to go like super far if we don't have to. I think we're only missing 1 though, if I recall correctly. That is indeed the case. So this is one of their rooms, or the other room is here. Let's check over here real quick. Nothing. Let's start with 102.
I believe I am addressing Monsieur Hector McQueen.
Guilty as charged.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, sorry. Just an expression. My father used to say it.
You must have had an interesting childhood. I am Hercule Poirot.
No need to be modest. You're a detective.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
I am Mr. Ratchet's secretary. Just over a year. I mainly take care of translating certain texts for him. Mr. Ratchet only speaks English.
Prepare yourself for a shock. Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, is dead.
So they got him after all.
What do you mean? You are assuming he was murdered?
I know he had enemies.
So the most interesting thing here is Ratchet only speaks English, yet the train commissioner, Mr. Michel, heard French.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
He was American. He was an antiques dealer. I don't know much more. Mr. Ratchet never talked about himself or his life, but I think Ratchet wasn't his real name, and he left the United States to run away from something. Or someone.
Yes?
He started getting letters. Threatening letters.
Do you still have them?
I have one.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked for my help?
Asked you? No, I didn't know.
He knew he was in danger. When did you last see him?
Last night around 10 o'clock, I should say.
Did you like your employer, Monsieur McQueen?
No, I did not. He was, I'm sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
Interesting.
Can you tell me your movements last night?
I went back to my compartment. I read a little. In Belgrade, I went out onto the platform to smoke, but it was cold. I quickly went back in. I then went to Mr. Ratchet's compartment to take some dictation for him. I left around 10 o'clock. I saw Captain Arbuthnot. We ended up chatting in my compartment. Then we went out on the platform to quickly stretch our legs at Vinkovsky. He left around 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
I will need to check Monsieur McQueen's story with Captain Arbuthnot.
Yeah, maybe a little suspicious. We'll see.
I found a diary in Monsieur Ratchet's safe. Did you know about it?
I kept a business appointment book, but I know he had a personal diary as well. That looks like it.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I've tried to quit, but no luck.
Okay, so we don't know if he smokes or vape.
Can you give me this letter, please?
Of course, here it is.
Time to die. Okay, very simple. Not elaborate at all.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No, he hated the smell of smoke.
And now we know for sure the vape is not his. Yep. So apparently he spoke in French, yet he only speaks English. Yep, if not Ratchet, who spoke to Mr. Michel? Murder pretended Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. So now we know that the time of death is not 1:15.
The murderer may have impersonated Ratchet by calling Monsieur Michel to make it seem that Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. Et voilà.
I'm really enjoying this type of puzzles though. Okay, so we're all good there. We still need to interrogate the person next door. Let's see if there's anything else in his room. Oh, I see that mustache. It was being sneaky.
You can never have too many of these.
Alright, what happens if we get 3 of 3? Nothing, okay. Well, at least we got him. Well, this guy seems a little shaken up.
Monsieur Edward Masterman, I believe. May I ask you some questions?
I can barely talk. I have a terrible toothache.
We have a doctor on board the train. Perhaps...
I do not need a doctor. I use essential oils. If you can find my flask of clove oil in my box, I would be grateful.
Fine, if you insist. I will help you.
Oh my.
By the smell, I think that the jojoba oil spilled on the other bottles, leaving their labels illegible. I must find another way to find which one is Masterman's toothache remedy.
Okay.
The weighing scale is soaked in jojoba oil. It's unusable. Ah, this old scale will do the job. To start, I must first arrange the vials from the lightest to the heaviest.
Okay. So lightest to heaviest, so this one's first. We just keep on working. Okay, you go there. Let's get the lightest one so far. Let's get this one. So we know for a fact that one stays there. Now we need to check these ones out. Red goes first. That should be good. Maybe I'm missing one. Yeah, that's right. Should be that. Am I somehow like, did I miss one somehow? Blue, yellow, red, green, black.
To start, I must...
Oh, so he wants... Oh, he wants heaviest. Okay. Even though he says lightest... So we know this one. We
Now
just
that
got
I
it
know
mixed
the
up.
order, I think that I can easily guess which one is the clove oil.
So clove oil. So let's see. That's 2, 5, 7.
Here is Monsieur Masterman's remedy.
That should work.
Here is your remedy. I hope it will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Ah, well, I can finally speak without too much pain. I'm ready to answer your questions.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
He really needs to get his, mouth checked. He does have a unique, voice, though.
No.
No, it's the 20. Oh, come on.
My little gray cells did not let me down.
Getting a little carried away. Alrighty, so we're gonna figure out what happened on the night of the crime, if he's a smoker, so on and so forth.
At what hour did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been around 9 p.m., sir. That or a little after. I went to bed around 10:30 p.m., same as the person who shares my room, Mr. Foscarelli. He almost immediately began snoring.
What did you do then?
I read, sir, and I spent a while soothing my toothache with clove oil and listening to the snoring.
Did you hear anything during the night?
Yes, my roommate snoring.
So that's not very useful for us.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
Tell me about your employer, Monsieur Ratchet.
I've been working for him for 9 months. I should not wish to speak ill of the dead, but he was not a gentleman, sir.
Did you know that he had enemies?
Yes, sir. I heard him discussing some threatening letters, sir, with Mr. McQueen.
Did he mention these letters to you?
He had been reading a letter when I came in. He asked me if I was the one who put it in his compartment. I told him that I had done no such thing, and he should report it to the police at the next station.
How did he respond?
He laughed, sir.
You're joking.
I do not joke, sir.
Forgive me, I can see you do not. Was he taking sleeping pills?
Always when traveling by train, sir. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Last night he asked me to give him 2. I did so, along with a glass of water. He dissolved them in the water.
Did you see him drink the water?
No, sir. I left right after I gave him the pills.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No. He finds smokers disgusting.
Can you tell me again why you gave sleeping pills to Monsieur Ratchet?
Yes, I gave him the pills because when he takes the train, he has trouble sleeping. The letter must have worried him. He specifically asked me to prepare the sleeping pills. I didn't see him drink the water with the pills in it.
Yeah, I think this is a lie because he doesn't want to go to sleep. He wants to be on edge.
Monsieur, I believe you are not telling me the truth.
What? How can you say that?
Select the element that proves he is lying, the gun.
He received threatening letters. One, it seems, last night. Did you know he had a gun under his pillow? And even asked for my help to watch over him? I find it strange that he asked you for sleeping pills when he was afraid for his life and prepared to defend himself.
I'm sure I don't know. Maybe to calm his nerves, maybe out of habit.
It makes no sense.
Wait, please. Isn't it possible that Mr. Ratchet asked me to prepare the pills, but didn't plan to drink them for some reason.
It is possible. But I am a student of character, monsieur, and the Monsieur Ratchet you describe is not the man I met.
If you'll excuse me, my toothache is getting worse again.
I'm afraid this time you must prepare your own clove oil.
Yeah, and he's using the clove oil. He's using the toothache to kind of get out of the conversation. Alright, where is it? Ratchet took sleeping pills. The killer then murdered him in his room and waited to escape while Mr. Michel was not in the corridor. Okay, so regardless, Ratchet takes sleeping pills. The murderer enters Ratchet's room. He stabs him with a knife. He calls Mr. Michel to make believe that Ratchet is alive. He opens the window to escape, but the train is stuck in the snow. He waits for Mr. Michel to take a break to leave the room. He did not flee out the window, so it should be this one.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Alrighty. Is Mr. McQueen a suspect? I think yes.
According to the information I have, this is a solid choice.
And with the Mr. Masterman, it's even more clear because he's lied about the sleeping pills.
Very well, I choose to go this way.
Does it matter? Can you just change your decision?
This appears to be a good lead.
You can.
This direction looks promising.
Okay. Honestly, we're so early on in this investigation that everyone should still be a suspect. And then now we need to just report the situation to Bach. Yeah, we're still early on. Everyone's still a suspect. Maybe that Mr. Masterman guy is clear, but, you know, maybe there's more to it. And I think Bach is by the restaurant or whatnot, so we're going to head that way. Luckily, I think we already got all the mustaches, so we don't need to dilly-dally.
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us, on the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
I used my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out.
Alrighty, so the woman was able to sneak onto the train, and she was watching Ratchet. Oh, she has a ticket as well.
The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105.
Miss, can you hear me? She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very soundly.
And then she's alive, roommate questioner.
This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
Alrighty. Pretty simple. Alright, but we're going to stop here today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links below. Next time we will investigate the room and see if we can investigate this mysterious young lady.